Now, if you haven't already got the sense why now's the time to invest, we're going to quickly run through these last slides, and then I'll do a little bit of Q&A if we got time. If you guys want, I'm here for you. This last little bit, if you haven't already got the sense why now's the time to invest in Bitcoin, then I'm going to give it to you. So is your mind, if it has not already been blown wide open, then is your mind a little more open to being open? Yeah, Irene is. Irene, you're awesome. I can tell you're already into this industry and you're already passionate about it. So I'm glad. So let's talk about gold now, because I said earlier that there's this debate of Bitcoin versus gold, and I'm telling you now, I'm going to prove to you now that the debate is over. What's important to know about gold is that gold has been forever throughout history what's considered a safe haven, a safe place to store your money in times of economic uncertainty. Okay, so honestly, throughout history, gold has been the thing that investors, everyday people, business owners and institutions, pensions, hedge funds, massive amounts of money, massive companies have moved to precious metals, aka gold and silver, because in times of economic uncertainty, that is supposed to be the safe haven for your money, to protect your money. Now, why is that? Well, it's not because at one point they thought gold contained the energy of the gods. It's not because at one point gold was thought to have contained the energy of the sun. It's not because of that. It's because it is believed to be in limited supply. The notion that there's a limited amount of gold on Earth is what keeps the value of gold where it is. And it is that notion that is why investors and institutions flock to gold in times of economic uncertainty. But remember, think about Bitcoin in terms of technology. In the beginning of the presentation, I said, think about Bitcoin in terms of technology and everything will make sense and everything will change. And remember my quote earlier about technology in this classic, extraordinary literary work called Economics Explained. Technology was a genie that capitalism let out of the bottle, and it has never since refused to go back in. So, here's something I used to say a lot over the last few years. I haven't said in a while. It feels nice to say it again. How much would I have to pay you for you to go back to an old cell phone? How much would I have to pay you for you to go back permanently, by the way, permanently go back to an old Nokia cell phone? I'm sure everyone on this call, everyone watching this video right now has a smartphone. Yeah? I'm sure you've looked at it many times in this presentation. I'm sure you cannot live without it. So tell me, how much money would I have to pay you to go back to your old Nokia cell phone, non-smartphone? Remember, think about Bitcoin in terms of technology. How much money would I have to, oh, what's that? I can't pay you anything? You can't live without it? You're basically addicted to it like me. You carry it with you everywhere you go. You depend on it. You use it for 5,000 different tasks per day. Oh, okay, I see. That is technology that I cannot replace. So if you think about Bitcoin in terms of technology, remember this. Technology makes previous devices, ideas, utilities, and applications, and what otherwise might seem necessary, now obsolete. There probably will be a day where gas guzzling, fossil fuel-based cars, buses, and transportation are laughable. It might not be in our lifetime, but the day will probably come where 90% of cars and vehicles on the road are solar power based or other electronic based, no longer fossil fuel polluting the world based. Okay. Also, remember that the refrigerator was at one point in technology. The AM/FM radio was at one point technology. CDs, remember CDs were at one point cutting edge technology. The iPod, you could store 100 songs on this little pocket device and you'll need to charge it once a day. Great, I got that in my phone and I got 100,000 of them and I pay $11 a month. For the cost of one CD, I now have the ability to stream for the same price as one CD, about 100 times more songs or more. So technology produces deflation. Technology technology produces deflation, okay? Quote me on that. That's a powerful statement that I learned from someone else, a great millionaire named Jeff. What's his last name? It's like Jeff Robertson or something like that. Technology produces deflation. Technology makes previous devices, ideas, utilities, and applications obsolete. What I used to have to pay to buy 10 CDs of music that I love of my favorite artists, I now pay one price of that, and I get their entire catalog plus 100 other artists' catalogs. Okay, the AM/FM radio in my car, yeah, right, it's obsolete. I got streaming, I got Bluetooth, I'm good. Everything I need, okay? So I've made the case. So is Bitcoin better than gold? Well, technology aside, let's just put in practical terms. If I had $1 million worth of gold, and that was my security, that was my safe haven. Hear me out on this. Everybody hear me out on this. If I had $1 million and I wanted to take that, let's say, out of the stock market, I wanted to put that in gold because I thought it was going to protect my money that I worked so hard for. Where am I going to find a buyer? Whether in Mexico or in Toronto, where am I going to find a buyer for all this gold? Let's just say this is $1 million worth of gold. It's not very liquid. It's not very quick and easy to sell. That's what liquid means. With Bitcoin, I have several marketplaces where I have thousands and thousands and thousands of buyers at my fingertips. If I want to store that gold, I have to pay a warehouse or a vault or a bank fees to secure it and store it on a monthly basis. They have security guards. They're going to have cameras. All that stuff costs money. With Bitcoin, there's no storage fees. Gold is difficult to transport. If this is $1 million, let's say I have 100 bars of gold and I'm a millionaire and I have $10 million, or it doesn't matter if it's 1 million, I need to transport this. I'm going to sell it now because I'm ready. I'm going to sell it now. I need to hire a Brinks truck or a group security truck, whatever, Group 4 Falk, it used to be called, that Group 4 security company. I got to pay them. We got to lug it like a bank heist from a movie or something. We got to lug it from point A to point B. And guess what? I got to pay for that too. I got to find a buyer. I got to keep it secured. I got to transport it in a big Brinks truck. It's going to cost me money. Guess what? With Bitcoin, I do it with a few taps of a button on my phone. Gold is also and has been in the past seizable by the government. Write this down if you're taking notes. Look up gold seizures in history. Look up gold seizures throughout history, especially in America if you want to narrow your search. It was not that long ago that the US government seized the gold by people. If you had gold, it was seizable and it was seized by your government. Well, guess what? With Bitcoin, you're in control. They'd have to put a gun to your head for you to give out your secret phrase, your security phrase. And even then, they still can't get it. You can give them a fake one. That's the only way they'll get it, is if you give them your passwords. And it's not just one password. It's like a 12-word passphrase, okay? Depending on which method of security. If you don't release the information, they can't get it. They can kiss your butt all the way to you know where. Okay, so is Bitcoin better than gold? Well, I think I answered it with all of this. However, let's look at gold's growth over the last 10 years. This is just the cherry on the cherry on the cherry on the top. Okay, let's look at the growth of gold over the last 10 years. In 10 years' time, it looks basically even. It looks exactly even. I took this screenshot just a few hours ago. It looks basically, look at that. Look at the origin of that red line 10 years ago, and look at the spot now where that red line is right now in 2021, right now. ¿Qué pasó? Sometimes my Spanish comes out because I'm learning Spanish here in Mexico. Why? Why the gold? Why the gold? Why the gold stays basically the same over the 10-year period? No me gusta, Mikey, no likey. 5-year gold price. Okay, well, there's some decent growth. It's in the last 5 years. Okay, we're getting better now. So if I didn't buy 10 years ago, the last economic downturn, but maybe 5 years ago, I'm going to see some growth now. I'm going to see almost, what's that off the top of my head? Let's just call it roughly 60-ish%. Looks like 50%, basically almost on the nose. 50% in 5 years. That's an average of 10% per year. Well, that's basically real estate. Real estate should basically give you 10% per year annually. So what the deal? Gold, what's up? 5 years, you only did 50% basically. What the heck? Okay, 2 years, the last 2 years. Let's see, I've got $1,500 worth of gold. Now I've got $1,800. So that's what, a 30% increase ish? 20, somewhere between 20 and 30 off the top of my head in 2 years. Okay. Now let's look at Bitcoin's year-to-date growth. Bitcoin year-to-date growth, 110%. This is just year-to-date. So 1 year, not even a full year, but just the year-to-date, 10 months into the year. I've got 110%. Wow, that's a lot better than gold. And the 2-year growth, sorry for the compression of this chart, but I really wanted to show the dates here. So 2020. Now we are here almost at the end of 2021. That's 2 full year cycles. I've got 563%, basically 564. So 500 plus growth in a 2 effing year span, 500% plus. Okay. Now, based on everything I told you thus far at this point in the presentation, you should be able to answer why. Okay, you should be able to answer why, because I've already done that here. This presentation was about the why, not the how of Bitcoin. You want the how? I got online courses for that. We got Telegram groups for that, no problem. 2 years, 564% in 2 years. Okay, so do's and don'ts. Now that you're convinced, now that you're ready, do's and don'ts. Buy some, buy it yourself. Buy it through a reputable exchange. This is my favorite. This is the one to use. This is the one I recommend. This is the easiest for Canadians. This is the best for Canadians. Doesn't matter if you want to do $100 or $1,000. This is the best one, okay? This link takes you to my favorite exchange that I use that is Canadian. Write that down, getbitbuy.com. Just hold it there if you want, or transport it into your own personal wallet. Okay, which I've mentioned one already to you, and in my online course I go through the how and everything and all that stuff. Do's and don'ts, very simple, just buy it and hold it. All the charts and all the stuff I've shown you prove that it's best to just buy it and hold it. You can trade it and invest it and do all that other stuff if you want, but that's very simple, best way to start. Do's and don'ts. The don'ts: do not participate with network marketing or MLM companies with Bitcoin. Trust me, I've been in a few. I have already made the mistakes. I've already made the mistakes for you. Don't do it. Learn from my mistakes. They don't mix. Trust me when I say that Bitcoin and MLM companies, they don't mix. They don't mix. Don't do them. Many of them start, many of them go bankrupt, go bust, steal people's money, run away with people's money. Just don't do it.